You will never be long-term happy if you constantly need people to hear you. If you give a shit about whether or not people are listening to you. I am Caleb Jones. This is Alpha Male 2.0, freedom-focused lifestyle design for men. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. We do 5 videos a week here on how to make both your woman life and your business life more free, because you need both. By the way, we are doing an online drawing course giveaway right now. This is my online course on how you can set up your own location independent business. It normally retails for $1,400 and you might be able to get it for free. All you need to do is be a subscriber here at YouTube, like this video and leave a comment, and I will announce the winner every 2 weeks at the YouTube community channel here at this YouTube channel. Okay, I have talked about the difference between the Alpha Male 2.0 and the Alpha Male 1.0. And I'm going to be very specific about this, and when I draw out this example, I'm going to give you a real-life celebrity example that just occurred a few weeks ago that directly illustrate my point as to when you give a shit about whether or not people are listening to you, are hearing you, if that's something you care about, you will never be long-term happy. You'll have moments of happiness, but you won't experience the long-term consistent happiness that we talk about here at Alpha Male 2.0. Now, I'm going to do something here. I don't normally do this. I'm going to read a quick excerpt from my own book, The Unchained Man, alphamalebook.com, and this is page 7. This is something I wrote about 6 years ago, which will be relevant in a minute. So, the Alpha Male 1.0. This is the classic definition of alpha male and what most people think of when they hear of the term. They make up about 25% of the modern male population. Alpha Male 1.0s are tough, masculine, confident, dominant, capable, and successful men. They take charge and get things done. Unlike betas, Alpha Male 1.0s rule others rather than being ruled themselves. All good. The problem with Alpha Male 1.0s is that they are highly sensitive to what others in their lives do or say. Does that sound familiar to some of you fuckers? If an Alpha Male 1.0's girlfriend or wife doesn't play ball, he gets upset. He starts commanding, lecturing, and setting rules. He does the same for his family members, friends, and coworkers. When everyone around them does exactly what they're told, Alpha Male 1.0s are happy guys who are fun to be with, which is true. Whenever anyone doesn't act in accordance with their specific parameters, which is often, how often do people do what they're told? Consistently. These guys are nightmares. They live lives of 70% joy, 30% anger. Now here's the important point. The operating goal of the Alpha 1.0 is to control and to be heard. Remember that in a second. We're going to circle back to that in a minute. They love to boss other people around and to issue lectures about proper behavior. They love to get pissed off and to set people straight. Having other people listen to them and acknowledge them is of extreme importance to these strong men. Okay. Because Alpha Male 1.0s are outcome dependent. As I've talked about before, they are very confident and capable, but they are outcome dependent rather than being outcome independent like the Alpha Male 1.0. Outcome independence means you don't give a shit about what happens in any particular scenario. You don't give a shit what people do or say or think. You don't fucking care, and you certainly don't care if people are listening to or not. You don't even give a shit. I certainly don't. I don't give a fuck. Talk more about that in a second. But what I want to direct you to is a recent Joe Rogan podcast where Joe Rogan was interviewing Bill Burr. I've talked about Bill Burr before. I like Bill Burr. What I'm about to say is not a knock on Bill Burr. I think he's great. I think he's really funny. I think he's the best comedian right now in the modern era. I think he's fantastic. I did an entire podcast where I went through one of his podcasts, and I went through a phone call he was having, or not a phone call, a question he was answering with some guy who's being cheated on or whatever. It was hilarious. You can look it up, my podcast. Bill Burr's name is in the title. Bill Burr's great. What I've also said about Bill Burr for years is that Bill Burr is the quintessential Alpha Male 1.0. He is strong, he is masculine, he is confident, he's successful. All good. He's also angry. He gets very, very angry. He gets pissed off. He is extremely outcome dependent. And on the most recent Joe Rogan podcast where Bill Burr was a guest, he's been on many times, this is the most recent one, and I may even put a clip of what I'm talking about in this video. It's somewhere in a 3-hour video. I don't think I'll have time to go through the whole thing, so maybe not. If I don't, maybe one of you in the comments can link to it if you have the wherewithal to watch the 3-hour interview with Bill Burr. But anyway, in this Joe Rogan podcast, Joe Rogan was interviewing Bill Burr, and Joe Rogan said, "Why are you angry?" He said, "Where does the anger come from?" And Bill Burr said, and I quote, "I'm scared I won't be heard." Exactly. When you give a shit about whether or not people are listening to you, you are taking your ability to be happy, you're ripping it out of your own being, and you're shoving it on someone else. You're giving them control over your happiness, which is ironic considering the other strong need for the Alpha Male 1.0 is control. So these guys who need control are ceding control of their happiness to other people. When you don't give a shit if someone is listening to you, then you can be happy regardless of what they think of you. It's great. I don't give a fuck if people listen to me. I do whatever I want. That includes people like my wife, my children, my friends, my family, to a large degree people I work with. I don't care what you think of me. I don't care if you listen to me or not. I am a business consultant, and for years I have done consulting where I've given people advice and they didn't take my advice. A lot of consultants get really pissed off about that. I don't give a shit. I don't care if you take my advice. You're paying me. You're paying me either way, so I don't give a rat fuck. And I've worked with many companies who didn't take my advice and suffered problems because they didn't take my advice. Don't care at all. As long as I get paid, that's all I care about because I like money. By the way, you might say, well, Caleb, you're here on YouTube, so clearly you care about people listening to you. You want more YouTube subscribers. Right, I get paid to do this. I don't give a fuck what you think about it. I don't give a fuck what your opinion is about me. All I care about is that I get more subscribers, more followers, more customers, and so on. I get paid to do this. So in a business context, yeah, I have to do this. Now, I've said before, in terms of this business, I have 3 companies, but in terms of this Alpha 2.0 company, I have said before, I've admitted this a few times, the fact that I have to present myself in these videos and pictures and social media is actually the part of this business that I don't really like. I would prefer to be totally anonymous and just sit on my ass in my jammies and type on a keyboard all day and make money that way. But I have the type of business, this business, where I need to do this, which is fine. I like money, so I'll do it. I have another company, my marketing company. It's a purely offline company. We do marketing services for IT companies. I really like that company, and I like spending time in that company because in that company, no one gives a shit who I am. It's great. In this business, you care about who I am. In my consulting business, who I am is kind of important. But in my marketing company, no one gives a fuck about who I am. And by the way, that's a lesson to you, you Alpha Male 2.0s. You can have an Alpha 2.0 business where no one gives a shit who you are. Sell products, sell services you outsource. People don't have to know who you are. It's fine. So I do this to make money, but I don't care if you listen to me or not. I don't give a rat fuck. And that's why I'm much more happy than guys like Bill Burr. I don't care. If you need to be heard, you care. You cannot be outcome dependent and be long-term consistently happy at the same time. It is literally impossible. You've got to learn to be outcome independent. So if you have that issue, you know where you need to grow, don't you? If you need more help with this, you can go to joinsmic.com. That is my mentorship and audio training program. In the meantime, you can click here to watch about whether or not you should have children, or you can click here on one of my more recent podcasts on time management. See you soon. Bye.